so this is just going to be a short video on how to play a very pretty minor ballad called Idle Moments. Now the link to the sheet music is in the description and it sounds as follows. So hopefully you agreed this is quite a pretty song. It's got a very pretty melody and it's quite moody. And really the only technique that we're using here is open voicings. Now this is where we take a standard 7th chord like a G7, but then split the notes of the chord up over 2 hands. So for example, you could go 5th, root, 3rd, 7th. So we're still playing all the notes of the chord, but we've split it up or spread them out over 2 hands to get a slightly bigger range, which gives us a more balanced and sort of fuller sound. And the benefit of doing this is then you have a few extra fingers to be able to add 9ths or 13th or some other tension on top to give it a bit more of a jazzy, dissonant sound. So for example, you could play a G7 flat 9, or a G7 sharp 9. And those are actually the 2 G7 chords that we play in this arrangement. So we start with a C minor chord with the G in the melody, so it would make sense if we have the note G in our voicing on top. So we start with a C minor chord, we go root, root, 3rd, 5th, and then our root goes down to become the major 7, minor 7 and 6 to follow the chord progression. All the while we're kind of playing the rhythm of the melody. Then we have a D half diminished chord, so we have the root, flat 5th, 7th, 3rd. Going to the G7, so the middle 2 notes go down a step, so we have 5th, root, 3rd, 7th, and then we add the flat 9th on top the first time. Then you play the exact same thing again. But this time we go to a G7 sharp 9. Then the right hand just plays the melody, left hand goes root note, just the standard 6th chord. Again, left hand just goes root, just the triad in this case, in F minor. Right hand harmonizes the melody a bit. Then over the G7, again we go the root note and then kind of like a shell voicing, the 2, the 3rd, the 7th and the flat 9th. Right hand keeps playing the melody. A flat major chord, we split up over 2 hands. So again, it's an open or spread voicing. So you've got the root, 3rd, 7th, 5th, and because we've got some fingers free on the right hand, I just add a 9th down the bottom here. keep going. Again, the right hand keeps playing the melody. The left hand plays a broken 10th triad, or sort of a spread out triad of that F minor, going to the 7th chord of the G7. That A flat dominant chord, very similar to the A flat major we saw before. This time I'm going root, 3rd, 7th, 3rd in the melody, and I've added the 9th and the 13th on top, again just because we've got some fingers free, so we may as well add some jazziness to it. Cool, then we finish on a minor 2-5-1 in C. So our left hand just plays, the root note, then the 7th chords again. Right hand just plays the melody. And then at the very end of the song, I finish on a really pretty voicing of a C minor 6-9. So I'm going root, 5th, 9th, flat 3rd, 6th, 9th. Now, in my earlier performance, I repeated the melody, I repeated the head, and I did everything exactly as I've explained, but for the first 8 bars, I harmonized the melody with a 6th at the top. And then here I put a little fill in before getting to the chords. So the left hand is doing the exact same thing as I discussed earlier. The right hand, instead of playing E flat G, is playing G E flat, which is effectively harmonizing the melody a 6th above. So G is the melody, E flat is the harmonization, and then we just keep that interval as we play the other notes in the melody. Again, just a little fill using the C minor scale on my way to the G7 chord. Then keep going, same thing with the G7 with the sharp 9 the second time round, and then the rest of the song is exactly the same. Again, check out the sheet music in the description and you'll be able to follow along with that a bit better. Cool, and finally, to improvise over this, I would use a sort of a collection of C minor scales. So C natural minor, C harmonic minor, C Dorian minor, C blues scale if you like, all kind of depending on what chord you're playing. So when you're playing the C minor major 7 chord, you want to pick a scale that uses a B natural, so say the harmonic minor or the melodic minor if you like. When you play the C minor chord, you've got a B flat, so you want to play either Dorian or natural minor. When you get to the A, again, you want to play either the Dorian or the melodic. So essentially, we're just picking a C minor scale that happens to fit the chord that you're currently playing. And really, the only notes that change are these ones. So sometimes you have A flat, sometimes you have A, sometimes you have B flat, sometimes you have B. So really you can kind of think of a generic C minor scale that starts off like any other C minor scale until you get to the 5th, and then it kind of just walks up chromatically to the C. So that's kind of the aggregated scale that I'm thinking of when I'm improvising over this song. But then I pick and choose which of those sort of chromatic notes I play depending on what notes are in the chord. So again, feel free to grab the sheet music down the bottom. But if you are going to learn this song with the sheet music, make sure you still kind of think about the chords that you're playing and the voicing that you're using. So as you play a chord, pause on it and try and figure out, oh yeah, cool, so there's the root, 7th, 3rd and 5th. The 5th is on top because that's the melody note. Perfect, that makes sense. So that you kind of conceptually understand what's going on rather than just, reading notes off sheet music blindly without really bothering to figure out what chord you're playing or why it works or why it sounds nice or why I picked that particular voicing. Cool, but otherwise that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.